Hey there, it's Michelle Spiva, and it is my daily check-in on my Leader of One preparatory month, and I'm on day number 15. Whew. This is the start of the new week, and if you're following along with me, I said that going into this third week, this is all about concentration, building the skill of being able to concentrate on what we are doing. Now, for a recap real quick, yesterday, I talked a little bit about tactics. And the first couple of weeks, I was all about developing a good strategy by understanding and getting clarification and simplifying what it was I wanted and then moving into how I was going to get it. So that was all about strategy. Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of the actual recipe. So it's one thing to know that we want to bake a certain kind of cake. It's another thing to now start working with what are the best ingredients to get the best outcome for the best cake. And so working with tactics today, I've been working, and I have been very aware of my perspective. Now, I made a few little notes so I wouldn't forget to tell you some of the stuff I've been concentrating on today, because you're going on this journey with me, and I don't want to leave out the important stuff. So, with perspective is how you see things. Perception is how you think about things. So perspective to me is the if we're looking at inward and outward, perspective is inward. It's coming in. Perception is outward. What you think outward. That doesn't necessarily have to be totally true, but hey, just work with me. So anyway. With perspective, how I'm seeing things. So for me, perspective is really about orienting myself, changing the position, the location, the angle of how I look at things. And that's one of the big things I find that being a good tactician with a good strategy really helps to attack something. So for instance, what does that look like today? So today I am writing and working and doing some things, and I have a project on Fridays through Sundays. I kind of work on a little project that I've been working on throughout the month. And so today has been working on that. And what I had to realize was that I was working with a old tactic. And so I wanted to reorient myself to look at things a little differently to see if I got any insights. And hot dang it, I did. So I was like, I need to share that. What I want to say is, when you are looking at playing around with perspective, you want to look for the innovative, ingenious, and the intuitive. What are you leaning towards, and not get stuck in a rut of, well, this is how I do it, and this is how I'm going to always do it. And this is not about fixing what's already working as much as it is improving on what may be working. And so in order to do that, what I also started looking at was patterns. Patterns help to identify what's efficient and effective as opposed to what's tired and needs to be updated. So this project is something that I've done before, but I want to do it in a better way. I want to get better results, because I do feel like the tactics I've used before are tired and they are not as efficient and effective as they used to be. So looking at patterns, both mine and external, I'm identifying some stuff, and I actually kind of like the work I've been doing today to work on this project. I'm like, wow, I'm getting a little more grace and a little more pump you up, because I'm getting excited, and that actually helps to be able to be focused, concentrated, and moving forward on getting stuff done. So with that, I was noticing I have been attempting to learn how I write quote unquote comedic kind of stuff. And one of the things that I have learned is that comedians have great timing, and in their timing there are patterns. And what they do is they use like a rule of three, where they'll do something 1, 2, and then on the third time it's different. And the third time is, guess what? A new change of perspective. So for instance, I heard a joke, and I'm gonna murder this man's joke. Bless his heart, rest his soul. But Bernie Mac was talking about, this lady asked him if something, and I won't say exactly what it is, but if it tasted like pumpkin pie. And he was like, well, okay, so that's one. He said, well, why would you ask me if something tastes like pumpkin pie? And so he talked a little bit more. That was number 2. And so then when he came back, instead of him answering if the other thing tasted like pumpkin pie, because that's where he had led you on the pattern that he was going to answer whether or not this tasted like pumpkin pie, he switched it. And he said, I don't know. I don't eat pumpkin pie. And so that was a typical little pattern. It's not even just about comedy. It's about how we do what we do. Pattern interrupts help us. They help us to keep going forward. They help us to concentrate. And so playing around with perspective is not just about forcing yourself to look at something from a different angle, different view, different concept. It's also about looking at patterns and to interrupt them. Because when you interrupt a pattern, when you interrupt a habit, when you interrupt something that you're very comfortable with, an odd thing starts to happen. I know, at least for me and for a lot of people I've worked with, and that is you get a new vigor. You get a, I almost said reclaiming your time, but anyway, you get a way to infuse excitement about what you're doing. And I'm going to tell you, working on concentration is a muscle. It does not feel good when you're trying to build it. And heck, it doesn't even feel good when you're trying to employ it. So you need all of the help you can get. And so for me today, this has been about playing around with perspective, looking and identifying patterns that I can disrupt and interrupt. Looking at the way I'm taking in things and see if there is opportunity for me to get above, below, to a different side, a different distance, up close, far away, or whatever. And it's been a success. Am I going to continue to do this? Of course I am. Because as tacticians of great strategy, the one thing that I love about that definition is that we are clever in our maneuverings. Say it with me, people. As a great tactician, we are clever in our maneuverings. Hey, Monica. And so today, as I was looking at changing up my orientation, looking at my different patterns and my approach to the project I'm working on and the writing, I found a complete new honey hole of effort that I can make and do some great stuff with. And I'm very excited about that because it was staring me in plain sight. And that's another thing I wanted to say about playing around with your perspective, especially when you're trying to build the muscle of concentrating. You get an opportunity to see things that are not going to take as much effort as you were using to do the old stuff. Now, I don't know about you, but I am all about self-efficacy, self-actualization, and about peak performance and being able to do things in a better way, producing better quality than I did before with less effort. So let me recap what I was talking about today. So for today, playing around with perspective, how you see things. To play around with perspective means that you change your orientation to the object or to the idea or the event. You either get above, below, to either side, far, close. You look at it with a different set of assumptions. You come to it with different objectives, and you look at everything Yesterday, I talked a little bit about scientific method. And scientific method is where you start with an hypothesis, you gather your data, then you start to analyze this data and make a decision on how you're going to take an action. Once you've taken an action on how you're going to prove or disprove this hypothesis, when you get the feedback back, guess what? You update the hypothesis or you've proven it. So today, in looking at perspective, that's all I'm doing. I set a hypothesis. There's a faster, better way to do this. And so I started gathering my data, which was to change my perspective, changing my orientation of how I'm looking at things. Then I started to analyze all of that. And what did I do? I started looking for patterns that I could disrupt, interrupt, change up. And because of that, I got the unction, the help, the excitement, if you will, the activation energy to execute, to start acting on that. And now my actions are showing that yes, my hypothesis was right, and I can amend it to say there is a better way to do this, and it is by, and I have a new process. Looking at my orientation, checking out my patterns, putting them into action, and seeing how long I'm able to concentrate without it being drudgery, without it being mentally fatiguing. And that's important because as we're learning to concentrate, what we're wanting to do is be able to extend the length and the quality of our concentration to complete a task and to do the task even better with less effort, less energy, and even less time. Okay? So I hope this is helping you guys. I know it's helping me. I didn't want to be on here long because guess what? I'm excited and I got to get back. I got to get back so I can continue to concentrate on this project because I'm excited about it. I found a new opportunity in it, and like I said, I'm just excited. All right, so I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much. If you are a member of the group, go in there. I put up a new special stream, live stream yesterday. You can catch the you can catch the replay of it in there. Great questions coming in. Read the comments. You'll learn some things from those, from other members. If you want to be a sponsor, if you are enjoying this and you're like, I agree with what you're doing, and you want to be a part of it, you can do that by becoming a Patreon paid sponsor as well. So you guys, thank you so much. Love to all of you. Love shout outs to my Facebook, Instagram, and my YouTube folks. If you're looking for me on Instagram, it's Michelle Spiva. If you are looking for me on YouTube, it's Michelle Spiva. All right. Okay, so I will see you all, guess when? Tomorrow. Oh, and this is our halfway mark. So we've got 15 more days of this, and I'm pumped. At least for today, I am pumped. So let's go and get it. We are working on concentration. Change up your patterns. Change up the way you see stuff. Change up the way you approach it. Just disrupt everything and look for opportunities to approach it in a different, new, exciting way. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.